off of this depressing topic, onto this week's main topic, Halloween.
Halloween.
So did we want to maybe go around and explain what the fuck we all are today, since our audience can probably only see half of us?
It is true.
I'll start with you, Sarah.
All right.
And I'm queuing up Mark here because this is a callback to a previous episode. Yes. So I'm going to get out of the way of the screen. Mark, cue that up.
Deep track for the inside listeners.
Right. All right. So
there we go.
Hashtag honeybutt. We were on a previous kink-themed episode, and we came up with the unique fetish of rubbing honey on someone's bottom and then licking it up. And I think it was you who were suddenly imagining me in a bee outfit doing that.
Yes. And so
why the costume is relevant to this particular, largely imaginary. I mean, we could lump it into like a goop fetish or something like that, but
I think it's going to be
why the costume is necessary. Yeah, you're a trendsetter.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Everybody
Hashtag
share the
honeybutt.
hashtag. Share the cake.
Spread the word.
Bring it around. I want parties.
And
yes,
send us your
parties.
safe for work pictures.
Yes.
We'd really like to emphasize that. But of course, we're always happy to hear from everybody. Of course, you can get us at sex@atheist-community.org. And you can also go ahead and call in. We'll be taking calls here in just a bit. Lines are open now, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yep. And so on the topic of Halloween and dressing up, there is a noticeable trend, I think, in the last 20 years, but definitely last 10 years or so. Slutty is in, or is it? And I think that's going to be the crux of our conversation here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a trend we're going to continue to see. Halloween, I think, has always been a holiday for children. And it's really, I think, only in the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years that it's been sort of expanded into this sexy adult drinking type of holiday. And I guess sort of the question before us is that good? Because I'll be the first to say, I love sexy Halloween. It's one of the few days of the year that I get drunk enough to think that I can dance. Basically, you'll find me this Halloween at Barbarella's downtown Austin at about 1 a.m. Don't approach me because I probably won't be able to carry a conversation. And I'm so very much looking forward to that moment and that opportunity. But in the wake of all of that, you see things like Yandy having to pull a costume from their online store after getting a lot of backlash over the sexy Handmaid's Tale outfit.
Okay, that was really badly chosen. That was, yeah.
I mean, context.
Yeah, well, and you see sexy Big Bird and these different things, and part of it I think is sort of the joke of it, right? We're laughing about it. Was Yandy really excited about selling a ton of that particular costume? Were they trying to get a bunch of attention and make people laugh? Are sometimes those costumes about making people laugh rather than anything else? And on a bigger scale, are we excited about the idea? I mean, as a straight presenting cis dude, like, I'm pretty excited about one day a year when I can go downtown and see a lot of very, very sexy cosplay. But I'm also very hesitant to get super on board with anything that is like sexualizing these children's icons. And at what point do we have, the mean girl ears and lingerie and start to see this as a trend that could potentially lean towards the misogynistic rather than the liberating side of things?
Well, and I think the way I introduced the topic too is a little problematic because I called it slutty, and really, let's take back that word because there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's a pejorative that is, I don't know, mid-process?
Yeah, we're still kind of mid.
Still working on that.
Yeah.
I mean, ethical slut, Dosey Eden, something in, I want to say about 30 years, like maybe 1985 or so. And ever since then, and even somewhat before, that's been the trend, is people are taking that word back.
Yeah, we have the slut walk, we have...
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
But it still has that connotation. And I think that's really at the heart of what we're talking about here.
Yeah. I know that Halloween for me, personally, being a bit of an introvert, has always been a little bit liberating.
Yeah.
Because it's, it is that one day a year where nowadays people kind of, to an extent, expect it. So you're not, how should I put it? You are less likely to be slut-shamed on Halloween.
So it's sort of your opportunity to get out there.
To basically try it on for a night and see, get comfortable, basically be comfortable with your body for one night of the year in, some kind of funny little costume.
Well, pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween has a long tradition of being the time when you can explore things and people won't necessarily have to know that you're exploring them.
Yes.
Whether that's your sexuality or your gender or anything, kink even.
I have heard a lot of stories about Halloween sometimes being the first time that any transgender person actually goes as themselves because that's like, it's a costume, but it's the best night of their life.
Right. And it's an interesting mix, right? Because you're having to like sort of still play that this is a joke. Right. You're still, and there's the whole absurdity to it. The whole, we're all doing whatever we want, and it's fun, and but at the same time, you're expressing something. So it's a weird blend, isn't it? It's just much like the whole misogyny versus self-expression thing. It's you have to deal with both at the same time. As with any sexualized thing.
I think the important thing is for the people dressing up to want to be dressing up with whatever they're dressing in and not to feel pressured. And I think that's the key is, I see this outfit and I want to explore myself or I want to express myself in this new, different way. Not, somebody's pressuring me or I've got this societal pressure that, I should be wearing this because, somebody wants me to look like this.
Yeah, well, and as three folks who are all sitting up here without kids at home, I would love to hear from anybody out in the audience who is in that position of, not necessarily talking about going down to the bars at midnight and being in that sort of sexualized party environment, but also having to navigate, they're sex positive, they support particularly their young daughters' sexuality or growing into themselves and into their own body, but they're having to combat that complicated messaging and navigate that. And that's without even getting into, things like blackface costumes and cultural appropriation and these big topics and issues that we are ill-equipped to deal with. But I would love to hear from any parents out there that have had maybe a complicated time in navigating all of this and what that experience has been for you.
Especially if you have teenagers, I think that's probably around the time that starts to become. Yeah. Those costumes start to change from cute and funny and pop culture-y into, oh my God, I can't believe you're walking out of the house in that. And so, just opinions and thoughts and questions from parents, more than welcome. Not that any of us sitting here. Well, no, you have a child.
Yeah. Well, I had a child. He's 20 now.
He's still your baby.
And then there's the added, whole will people assume that this costume is consent thing.
Yes. Was she asking for it? No, it's fucking Halloween.
Answer no. But the nervousness, am I sending my child, my teenager out into a world that will see it that way and what will happen?
Yeah.